At Dinant, the day begins with a purpose, focusing all our efforts on preserving the earth we share with other living beings, which is more than just a duty. It is a commitment to gratefully return to nature what it has given us. For over 20 years, we have been implementing programs in different parts of Honduras dedicated to conservation. On over 7,000 hectares, we have slowly produced positive results, breeding, raising, and releasing wild species including red macaws, white-tailed deer, green iguanas, tapirs, and jaguars. Our work is focused on 4 wildlife conservation centers. Farallones Wildlife Conservation Center. Located in the Department of Colón, Municipality of Limón, the center covers an area of 5,000 hectares. Farallones is a protected nature reserve. Its 5,000 hectares are supervised by forest rangers to maintain security in the area, both for the forest and the species that are preserved, especially the tapir and jaguar. Hunting and habitat laws are the conditions that have endangered these 2 species. That is why we have implemented a protected areas project where they can live in freedom. Scientific research is also carried out at the center, resulting in the first tapir born in captivity in Honduras in May 2012. Cristina is the little tapir's name. She is the daughter of Dupré and Crisanta, who have been residents at the Wildlife Center for over 7 years. Farallones is undoubtedly Dinant's center, with the greatest concentration of wildlife. It is a refuge for the largest cat in the Americas, the jaguar, which is an endangered species. The animals are protected and monitored through motion sensor cameras that record photographic images of animals that visit the area without causing any disturbance in order to allow constant study for their preservation. With the objective of implementing a corridor connecting Honduras, Nicaragua, and Guatemala to protect the feline, Dinant has joined forces with different institutions to develop a project called the Jaguar Corridor in order to ensure greater survival of the species. According to reports, the jaguar has been using oil palm plantations as a refuge and corridor to move between the native forests. Before, when they crossed pastures with no vegetation cover, they were exposed and vulnerable to poachers. Zacate Grande Wildlife Conservation Center. It is located in the Department of Valle, Municipality of Amapala, and covers an area of 2,058 hectares. Dinant carries out conservation and reforestation programs in this center located in southern Honduras. Since 1996, our nurseries have produced approximately 100,000 annual plants and more than 3 million trees that have been planted, mostly native and fruit trees on an area of over 2,000 hectares. This island in the Pacific Ocean is shared by many animal species, and hard work is being carried out to preserve them. One example is the breeding and reintroduction of the wild green iguana. Close to 13,000 specimens that were threatened with extinction have been released. To support this process, Dinant has a staff to feed, reproduce, and care for the iguanas in order to mitigate the species' high mortality rate during its first year. Thanks to the project's success, the red macaw, the Honduran national bird, has been seen flying freely after having completely disappeared in the area. Recently, around 30 red macaws were released, and they have been spotted flying in southern Honduras, El Salvador, and Nicaragua. In addition to the work that Dinant carries out with birds and reptiles, it also works to preserve the national mammal, the white-tailed deer. Currently, more than 800 white-tailed deer roam freely on the island, which is considered a protected area of global significance for the study and research of this species. Punta Isopo Wildlife Conservation Center. It is located in the municipality of Arizona, Department of Atlántida, and covers an area of 300 hectares. Although smaller than the others, this center has an important private protected park like Zacate Grande, where reproduction work is being carried out with the red macaw to introduce it in the North Coast, where it can live in freedom. Many wild species of birds and reptiles inhabit the area, and the amount of flora is so extensive that it also acts as an area for scientific research. In addition, its heavenly landscapes make it a great recreational spot. Choloma Wildlife Conservation Center. It is located on the municipality of Choloma in the department of Cortés and covers an area of 100 hectares. This center has been mostly dedicated to the natural resource conservation. Constant reforestation has been the most outstanding work. You can appreciate the area's biodiversity at first glance. Environmentally responsible industry. At Dinant, we are aware that industry must be highly responsible in its processes. That is why, in addition to constantly monitoring and maintaining flora, fauna, and natural environment, we focus on environmental conservation. Dinant has a strict environmental policy and a huge commitment and responsibility in the cultivation of palm oil, one of its sources of industrial raw materials. It has implemented zero discharge and zero waste programs in its productive processes. In short, it is fostering clean energy, including biomass, produced by solid waste from the processing of palm fruit. This process generates steam, which is converted into thermal and electric energy for the oil extracting process, making it self-sufficient. Biogas. A biodigester has been installed for the management of liquid wastes generated by the oil extraction process. It produces high methane biogas from the decomposition of organic matter. Dinant is greatly concerned with proper land use, and it has created two essential processes for this purpose. On one hand, organic fertilizer is produced by composting empty bunches of palm, along with ashes from the boilers, biomass sludge, and effluents produced by the wastewater treatment system. All this undergoes a decomposition process for 14 weeks to produce organic fertilizer, which is applied to palm plantations to replace up to 30% of chemical fertilizers. On the other hand, we use the process of fertigation, an organic liquid fertilizer. This is a product of the biodigestion in the process of oil extraction, where sludge and effluents with high nutritional contents are produced. These are used in a fertigation system, allowing us to replace chemical fertilizers on about 1,000 hectares of our plantations. At Dinant, we fulfill our daily commitment to be in harmony with nature and the environment, innovating and improving our processes to benefit the environment through a streamlined and environmentally friendly production process in order to help create a better world.